Okay, we're filming. Hey, welcome to my channel. I am Elizabeth Fox, the Foxy Writer. So, today I want to talk about my freaking favorite tropes ever. So, my favorite character tropes ever. I should specify character tropes. So, first of all, it is the non-human person who learns to be human. Oh my god, it touches my heart. You know, Spock, Data from Star Trek, who else? Like, I just generally like the trope. I mean, like, I can't name any characters, but like, I don't know, like those paranormal books where it's like, I don't know, like the demon who learns to be like a loving person instead of just a raggedy ass bitch all the time. Like, oh, that warms my heart. Like, honestly, there's just something about it I find so freaking adorable when they, what's going on with my hair? Okay. So freaking adorable when they learn to be like better, like not even better, like some of them I wouldn't say would be better people because like I guess I wouldn't want to say, like for example Star Trek, like I wouldn't want to say Spock is better as a human because I feel like that's kind of rude because he's an alien, so like, but like it's cute to see them embrace their humanity, and I really think it's an awesome way to kind of like explore the idea of humanity and like what actually makes us human, which is kind of like a little philosophically, but I like fucking love that shit. So yeah. Um, Another character trope is I freaking love sassy women. If Toph from Avatar: The Last Airbender, I think Korra's pretty sassy too in The Legend of Korra. Dr. Crusher, like she's like silently sassy, I feel like. Yeah, I just freaking love sassy ass women. It's just my favorite. Like, you fucking go, girl. You're a queen. You know what I mean? Like, I love it. I love sassy women. Ooh, another trope that I freaking love is the fucking just balls to the walls crazy villains. Like, these people are fucking nuts. Like Azula from The Last Airbender. Fucking nuts, you know what I mean? And I just live for it. I don't know why, but I just find it funny as shit. Like why are you so crazy? Okay, so I'm gonna talk about my three favorite tropes, and I'm gonna go into more detail because, why not? Anyway, so my first one, the non-human or only like partially human person who kind of slowly learns to become more human and or embrace humanity. So I kind of touched on this a little bit more detail than the other ones, but I really like the philosophical qualities of the question of what makes us human, what gives us our humanity, because I think that people tend to think that humans are the end all be all of creatures, and obviously we haven't seen any real aliens, so I guess in a way we kind of are the top of the hierarchy in our planet so far, unless they find some aliens in that Area 51 raid. I mean, we're probably the most sentient beings that we know of. So, exploring our humanity through the lens of a character who is maybe otherworldly, paranormal, or an alien, I think is a really great tool to show the good parts and the bad parts of humanity and to explore the idea that we are really all so similar. You know what I mean? So, with Lieutenant Commander Data in Star Trek The Next Generation, if you guys don't know who that is, he is an android created by a doctor soon. He's a human dude. So, Data is very robotic. So, when you first meet him, he's very literal. This came like way later in the series, but it kind of goes back to the beginning of Commander Data going on the ship. And there's a point where someone says, "Oh, we're going to be burning the midnight oil because something went wrong." And Data says, like, "I wouldn't recommend burning petroleum products. You could blow up this ship." And the guys are like, it's an expression, and day to day he didn't understand because he's very literal, very computer-like, very logical, no emotion. And slowly over the series, you see him kind of develop emotions in subtle ways and then not so subtle ways. And you see him learn to interact with people. He explores things like grief, loss, relationships, and love and friendship. And it's so beautiful to me to see this because you're seeing it from something that is not human, learning these things, and it's just fucking wholesome to me. Like, oh my gosh, it like made me cry at some points. Like, it's so freaking amazingly cute. Ooh, look at my eyes are all kind of like red now because it is so cute and so wholesome. And oh, what a character. I love him. So yeah, but what's it going? Okay, lost my train of thought. With doctors, is he a doctor? I think ambassador. I don't know what the fuck he is. So Spock. I haven't really seen a lot of the original series, so this is mostly based on the movies. So, I guess it's not 100% accurate. But from what I've seen, Dr. Spock is half a Vulcan, half human. So Vulcans are logical. They have emotions, but they don't show them. They I don't know, they repress them or some shit. Sounds unhealthy, but that's not my thing. So, so Dr. Ambassador, whatever, Spock the Vulcan, half Vulcan. One of his major character arcs was learning to balance his human emotions with his Vulcan side and learning to control his emotions. So that's another interesting. It's first of all, you're comparing a race of people so completely philosophically fundamentally different than humans, with not having emotion, operating completely on logic. And you, first of all, you get to see that flaw in only operating on logic with no emotions, which is very much shown in the opposite of operating sometimes on all emotion and no logic. And you really get to see with Dr. Spock that divide. Sometimes he'll break that logic to operate with emotions, which is a big deal in his character arc. And it's just very, very cool to me to be able to compare that and contrast it, because there are people who think there are people who try and, be more logical. I don't think they put it that way, but, people who try and say that emotion should never dictate things, there are philosophies and people who think like that in general. And, there are some people who think we need more emotion and less logic, which don't agree with necessarily, but you kind of get to see that debated out on the screen. And then, just in general, characters who are paranormal, otherworldly, like demons or angels, or I think with vampires and werewolves you don't see it as much because they are portrayed as very much human. I think more modernly, especially with Twilight, they're pretty much the same as humans, but they're sparkly and drink blood and turn into wolves. But a lot of older paranormal, you also see them being very inhuman, and usually they don't become more human. They kind of stay this inhuman, scary monster, but sometimes they do, and I live for that shit. I love it. I especially love books with demons who are just sassy motherfuckers and they're just kind of mean and don't like humans. They think, they're better than humans. They're a big old demon dude. And then they kind of slowly become warmer to humans. They become a little bit more human themselves. Crowley from Supernatural, that is a good example. You see him kind of come closer to Sam and Dean and a little bit more helpful and a little bit just in generally more human than strictly the demon king of hell, So that's a good example. So I just like that shit. I just love it because I think it just restores my faith in humanity, you know what I mean? But also because I think it's a really cool idea to explore this idea of our humanity. And furthermore, is it really such a human quality? It's hard to say. we're giving human qualities to fictional characters of inhuman origins, which are origins we made up. So, but it also begs the question of, if aliens were real, would they be human? Would they share those traits of humanity like us? Or would they not? We'll never know. Anyway, so moving on to the next one, which is sassy ass female characters. Now, I think I like it in girls more because I don't know why. I think I see it portrayed as, I think I see women portrayed as being sassy more than men. I stated that it was a girls I liked, but I probably would like it if it was a sassy guy too. I just really can't think of any examples of sassy guys. Not like I can with sassy women. So I love this trope because I feel like it's just funny. I also really like strong women in my books. Like my coffee. Just kidding, I don't like coffee. But if I did, I'd like it like my women, strong and independent. So I really don't like the whole damsel in distress thing necessarily. I don't think it's super bad of a trope, but I just think it's a lot of problems. You know what I mean? Like the whole Disney princess always waiting on a prince kind of thing. Not my cup of tea, particularly. I really like it because, like I said, it's funny. I like strong women, and I don't know, you just gotta love a sassy character, I mean, they're just great. I think it's like kind of like a comic relief almost, maybe. So, I guess I don't have a super great explanation for that, but I love them. And that will lead me to the batshit crazy villains. Holy crap, I just love them. Like, I don't know why, I just do. I just think it's like ridiculous. I think I like the really fucking crazy villains because in a way it's almost like a comedy to me, like how someone could be that batshit crazy. It's just mind-blowing, like what? And I don't know. Like Azula, I almost like she's just so fucking nuts. Like I almost was like, how are you a whole ass human being? You know what I mean? If you guys have watched Avatar, you might know the scene I'm talking about. If you don't, I'm gonna tell you anyway. So there's a scene where Azula is recruiting her old friends to help her track down her brother and her uncle. And her one friend, Tylee, maybe? She joined a circus and Azula goes and visits her at the circus. So she's all like, hey, come join my team. And then she's like, well, I'm actually really happy in this circus and I like it. So I think I'll stay. And Azula's like, well, I can't make you. So Azula's like, oh, I'm going to watch you perform tonight. And so she's like, oh, okay. She's kind of like, Tylee knows that Azula's fucking nuts, obviously. Like, she's like, this bitch crazy. I ain't joining her team. Like, and so when Azula's like, I'm going to watch you perform, Tylee's all like, oh, fuck, here we go again. So Tylee is an acrobat. She's on the tightrope, and Azula was all like, let's make this more interesting in the, which Azula is the princess of the Fire Nation, by the way, so she's like super high up there. The guy who like runs the circus, I'm assuming, he was kind of like, oh, okay. She's like, we're going to set the net on fire, and he's like, I guess I have to because you're the princess. So he does, and you see, the girl Tylee is kind of like, oh, fuck, what the fuck? And then Azula's all like, do you have dangerous animals? And then the guy's all like, yeah. And so she's like, release them all. And like the last thing you hear is a fuck ton of like lions and elephants, and it just shows like the tent. Like you don't see what's in there. But the next day, Tylee joins Azula's team, obviously. And it's really funny because there's this scene where she's all like, oh, like, maybe I'll see you perform tomorrow, Azula was to Tylee. And Tylee's like, I don't think I will. And Azula's like, oh. And she's like, I think the universe is giving me signs to go in a different direction. Like, yeah, bitch. And Azula's like, okay. And I go, what? So, like, I don't even know how you're a whole ass human being. Like, it's just fucking nuts to me, like, the shit she does, So, I think that's why I like them, because it's like, it's just a marvel of, like, how are they actually a whole-ass human being, you know what I mean? Obviously, they're not a real human being, because they're fictional, but That's kind of like why I love him. Another really crazy one that's just batshit crazy is Hannibal Lecter from Silence of the Lambs, and he has to be one of my favorite horror story characters of all time because first of all, I'm terrified of cannibals and zombies. Like, nope, nope, I don't like cannibals for some reason. They physically like just terrify me, and zombies do, which I think is because they're basically dead cannibals. I don't know, but yeah, they scare the shit out of me. So first of all, Cannibal Lecter is already kind of scary to me because he's a fucking cannibal, you know, nuts. But he's just like, well, he's also really smart, which I think makes him way fucking scarier because, I mean, if they're a dumb cannibal, maybe you can outsmart him and run away. But no, he's just fucking brilliant, so no hope there. But he's also just like batshit crazy, you know what I mean? And it's just like, how are you a functional human? Like, how is this even a thing? How do you live? You're so crazy, you know, like. So, anyway, that's like a really shitty explanation as to why I like batshit crazy characters who are evil. You know, I do like batshit. Alright, now that we're talking about this, I like batshit crazy characters who aren't evil. If you look at Boomy from Avatar, the original series, King Boomy, that dude's fucking nuts too. Like, oh my god, I just live for it. I just fucking always loved King Boomy. Let me put down my drink. Like, this dude is just fucking nuts too. Like, I don't even know how he was a king. There's like one scene where he's captured his. Hold on, my camera's not focusing. Focus. There we go. Okay, finally. So there's a scene where he's captured by the Fire Nation and they put them in a metal box so he can't earthbend. But they don't cover his face, so he can still earthbend, but he's not because he's waiting for the right time. Anyway, not important. So there's a point where the Avatar tries to break him out. And like, Boomy is all like, you know, shows him he can bend and it's just like, I'm just waiting for the right time to make my move, which is reasonable, I guess. But there's a part where he just fucking pushes himself up. He uses his earthbending to earthbend himself back up to the fucking, where they were keeping him captive. And I just die. I just fucking die when I think of it. Just like, oh my god, why? This dude fucking nuts just earthbends himself up back to his prison hole. Oh. I just feel like this video got really ridiculous. Also, I'm using a lot of Avatar examples because I'm watching the series again. There's so much in Avatar that I love, man. Just fucking King Boomy earthbending himself back up there. Why? Yeah, he was fucking nuts and I just live for it, you know. So, I guess I can say I also like batshit crazy good guys too. I think I might like the good guys more because it's easier to root. Because you can't root for the bad guys, you know. I'm not rooting for Cannibal fucking Lecter. Hell no. You know, and even Azula, like, I kind of root for her as in, like, I just want you to achieve your goal because you're fucking nuts. But at the same time, like, I'm definitely not rooting for her, like, killing the Avatar or whatever the fuck she wants to do. So, with King Boomy, definitely can root for that dude, even though he's crazy as hell. You know, he's a good guy, so I can root for him. Anyway, this video is kind of weird. I don't even know if I'm gonna post it, but that is some of my favorite fucking tropes. Anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I hope you guys don't think that I'm like fucking crazy, even though I probably am a little bit. And I cannot wait to read your guys' writing, especially for the amazing characters and tropes I know y'all are going to use. So anyway, like, comment, subscribe, share, do all the things with my video. I'm Elizabeth Fox, and I will see y'all next time. So have a good day.